The Blockchain Revolution, Part 1 by Don and Alex Tapscott. When you accept to conduct any financial transaction such as buying a house, a car, or a plot of land, the first step you take is to agree with the seller on a purchase price, and then you take the financial procedures required to complete the purchase and transfer the ownership to you. And in order to ensure the reliability of the purchases and transfer of ownership without losing the rights of the buyer and seller, people have relied since ancient times on what we can call brokers, who have the responsibility to audit and document the deal. Banks have played this mediating role for a long period of time by documenting transactions and tracking ownership documents to ensure the legitimacy of the sales between clients. Recently, we noticed that companies like Uber and Airbnb started playing the role of these brokerage platforms, as they make sure of the reliability of drivers or apartment owners. Although the type of brokers has changed over time, whether they were banks or companies like Uber and Airbnb, history may show us that these brokers are not always trusted by the clients. Banks can go bankrupt and you may lose your money, and companies like Uber can sell your data to other companies without your permission. Even traditional governmental institutions' systems may themselves be subject to failure. In all of this, it's worth asking, how can we use internet to overcome these risks in financial transactions? And how can we enhance people's confidence in the web to the point of encouraging them to use it to conduct massive financial transactions, despite the prevailing belief that it largely lacks adequate security means for large financial transactions? The answer lies in a new technology that has recently begun to spread, and it's expected to change people's perceptions towards the internet forever. This technology is called the blockchain, and it can be defined briefly as a global network of data that connects buyers and sellers directly and allows all clients to bypass traditional central authorities, such as banks. The idea of the blockchain is about creating a decentralized database that's tamper-proof or unhackable, that's not owned or controlled by one particular entity. Every blockchain user has access to this database in which all transactions are carried in a practical and transparent manner. Bit to remember, the blockchain is a decentralized database system with high computation capabilities and a strong security system. When performing a transaction, the blockchain gives the transaction a timestamp and adds it to the major database. And in order to verify its legitimacy and validity, the blockchain system makes sure that the information of this transaction is matched with the authenticated copies through network users. When this transaction matches with the data of the majority of the parties involved in the network, it's considered a documented transaction, and the network adds a stamp proving the legitimacy of this transaction. By applying this level of transparency and verification methods, there is no opportunity for hackers or thieves to make subtle changes to the data distributed on a huge number of blockchain users. The blockchain system, as its name indicates, is a chain of blocks. Each record of data, which may contain multiple transactions, is called a block within this growing database. Each new block of data is linked to all previous blocks. The correlation of the data blocks is what makes the blockchain system an extremely secure information system. The new data blocks are created by complex mathematical calculations with powerful computers called miners. New data blocks don't only contain the new parameters, but also contains a link to the previous block, which in turn contains another link to what precedes it, and so forth. So, when a new block is added, the new miner will transmit his data to the network of other miners in the database, resulting in a harmonic algorithm that will ensure that all data blocks are in perfect conformity. This is how miners can replace traditional brokers. The blockchain system contains so-called algorithms, which are programs that protect the blockchain system from data damage or theft. Proof of work is the most popular algorithm for the blockchain because it makes it impossible for anyone to add an information block that contains modified information. By matching the links between the new data blocks and the data blocks that precede it. The proof of work algorithm also ensures that when a new block is added, no one can restore the chain, remove an old transaction, or create a new block to replace an old block within the chain. Bit to remember, the blockchain system is based on a series of data protected by complex software and calculations that prevent hacking and theft. Many of us might think that today we can transfer and transact money internationally just as quickly as we exchange phone messages or emails. If we send a shipment of iron by post from the United States to China and at the same time we send $10 via bank transfer, what will arrive first? Believe it or not, the iron shipment will arrive first. This is a part of the problem of the current global financial system. The current global banking system is very complex and slow. And since we do a lot of banking through the internet, we believe that money is transferred with the same speed of emails. But contrary to this belief, the financial system, despite its development, is mired in many complexities that depends on a large number of brokers who intervene in international financial transactions. These brokers may be credit card companies, or investment banks, or stock market brokers, or money transfer services companies such as Western Union and other global financial institutions. These brokers are making financial transactions more expensive as they are trying to boost their own bank accounts, all at the expense of the speed and ease of transferring money internationally. Bit to remember, the traditional banking system suffers from slowness and complexity and hasn't been able to keep up with the speed of today's transactions. On the other hand, we find the blockchain system with its famous currency, Bitcoin, which surpasses many of the obstacles mentioned above. Bitcoin takes about 10 minutes to be transferred from one account to another, which is the time taken to add a new block to the blockchain. There's no need to go through 5 different international brokers, as happens when you use your credit card that's connected to your account in the United Arab Emirates to pay for your coffee at Starbucks during your vacation in New York City. Credit card transactions can also be somehow expensive with all its service fees and international purchases. This makes it useless for the poorest segment of the world. Due to the costly banking system, payments under 20 cents are not profitable to banks. Despite that 2.2 billion people live with less than $100 a day. So it's not surprising if we find that 2.5 billion people in the world population don't have bank accounts. On the other hand, blockchain can be a suitable alternative for a larger segment of the world's population, as it deals with small payments easily and provides many banking services at no cost. All it takes is an internet connection to use the blockchain system and join this contemporary global economy. Bit to remember, the blockchain system facilitates financial transactions in a fast, cheap, and more comprehensive way than traditional banks. Thanks for watching. Please follow our social media accounts. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel.